you tired of the typical libraries with conventional music that makes you feel meh? Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.
I was getting over. I was driven by the things I said when the snow.
My sister Deaf Sense. Gonna be with them in just a moment and resolve a lot of mysteries about them. So, as promised, we have Rodrigo from My Sister Deaf Sense here with us. Hello.
Hello, what's up?
Hey, I'm glad to hear you. So, tell us a little bit about your influences. What would you say those are your primary influencers for your music?
Well, I grew up listening to grunge music because of my age. It was the most important rock genre that we could listen. And I love bands like Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, and so on. But I also love stoner rock and so on. But I don't. When I listen to our music, I don't find those influences. So I'm not sure about what they are.
Or maybe that's your own product out of your influences once you process them over in your head.
Yeah, maybe that's why I can find those influences. I when I was younger, much younger, I I listened to U2 a lot. So maybe
to you too.
That's
Wow.
something too in our music.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. That's cool. That's very cool. So, tell us a little bit. Why and when did you start playing music?
I don't remember exactly when I started playing music. I remember that there was in my home there were a couple of Spanish guitars that my father bought for my older brothers, and they never were interested in those pieces of wood that they were at home, and I was the only one playing them and so on. And that's when I started. That's the first thing I remember.
Cool, that's interesting. So you actually started playing Spanish guitar?
Yeah. I've never played flamenco or something like that, but I started playing Spanish guitar, and many of our songs, the songs from My Sister Deaf Sense, were written with the Spanish guitar. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing to know. So, if this is right, you are the bassist and singer. So
Yeah.
how was the transition from playing Spanish guitar to picking up a bass?
Well, I don't know. I was I've never played guitar in a band. The first thing that I did in a band was playing bass and singing. And it was a couple of friends. They already played guitar, and there was no bass player in the band, so I decided to play bass.
So you became a bass player out of necessity, really.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man.
I think I'm a singer. Mostly, I'm a singer more than anything.
Exactly. So you consider yourself more of a songwriter or singer.
Yeah.
So what's the inspiration then for when you write these songs, when you compose? What is your major? Would you say is your major inspiration?
Well, I usually write about. I think the most important. I usually write about human behavior. That's what I always write about, and I think that's the only thing that matters. And all that happens in the world, you can reduce it to that. You can talk about society, politics, love, and so on, but everything is the same. That is human behavior, in different aspects of life. So I always write about human behavior. You can write a song about love, or about politics, or about whatever, but in the end, it will always be about human behavior, and I think that's what is more interesting for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. So the good, the bad, and the ugly, I guess.
That's right. It's all about human drives. The motivations of the people, I think.
That's very interesting. So, tell us a little bit your trajectory as a musician. If you could, describe from the point from when you started to nowadays. I know my sister Deaf Sound is like a stable, composed, working group, and you're playing your gigs frequently. So how did you start it? How was that trajectory up until where you are now?
Well, before my sister Deaf Sounds, I created my sister Deaf Sounds in 2006. So it's been a long time since then. So I hardly remember what I did before that. But I was in many bands. Before that, I didn't. There was a long time without singing. I spent a long time without singing, just playing the bass.
But you started initially when you started as a singer.
Yeah, I started as a singer and a bass player, and it was about when I was a teenager. The first band I founded, it was called Q3. In that time I only listened to YouTube. When I was 14 years old, I only listened to YouTube, and the pronunciation for Q3 in Spanish is cutres.
Oh, that's
What's and the meaning of cutres is
for those listeners that don't know what that means in Spanish. Can you translate it?
I don't know. It's a CD or something like that.
It's something bad. It's something bad.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So that's where I think that's where you can feel the influence of YouTube mostly. In my career. And I was singing there, but then I stopped with that band when I was 18, more or less, and I spent a couple of years just playing at home and so on. And when I was 20, I was fed up of hearing only myself. So I got myself in the market again, and I decided I didn't want to I couldn't give a lot of time to music, so I decided to dedicate only to play the bass. And I started as a bass player. It was about 5-6 years, and after that,
Interesting. So in 2006, you said, "This is enough. I really, really want to sing my own songs." Is that it?
That's right. Yeah.
Amazing. So how it's been throughout, since it's been 12 years already. So I assume there's a lot of hard work involved.
Yeah.
With the everyday. So how would you describe that to those that really want to pursue and follow your steps in a way?
I think I can divide it in, I don't know, maybe 3 different periods. The first one was 2 very good musicians I gathered, and we recorded a demo. From there, it was about a couple of years, 3 years. After that, I have to change the guitar player because he left the band. He wasn't very. He used to play with me when I was a bass player, so I think he never get used to hearing me singing, you know. Yeah. And after that, I finally in 2010 I met Joe Baldrini, and I think that was the moment what that consolidated my sister's absence as a good rock band, you know, because his influence in the music has been really high.
I know, Joe. He's also a great producer, right?
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
He has produced. He produced the Desert of Believing, the album that is now in the market, and I'm working with him right now on the second album.
That's amazing. Let's take a little listen to what we're talking about. Let's hear a little bit about it. We're playing Almost Serious. So what for this song, what would you say that's the main message? Almost Serious. What would you say that's the main message on that song?
Well, I wrote that song in a very low moment in my life. I didn't feel too good in that moment, and it's about that moment, you know. It's just a picture of a very concrete moment in a very particular moment in my life, and it's a little ironic also, because you know, when you start thinking a lot about the problems that you have, you end up thinking that it's not that bad, you know. I have been through a few things, and I know that things are not as bad as you see them when you're passing through them, you know.
That makes sense. That actually makes sense. So, talking about sense, why don't you tell us what is the meaning of the name? Where is it coming from?
Well, it comes from the fact that, you know, we're from Spain, as you may have noticed because of my accent and my vocabulary. And here in Spain, it's very hard, you know, playing rock. And it's very hard making a life from that, you know. And with the people that moves the market, the musical market in our country, are usually teenagers, girls, you know, and you know, like the siblings that we all have, you know, your little sister, you know. And I have always had that sensation that we were playing, we have played a lot and nobody was listening, you know. So that, you know, it seems like we're playing for my sister's absence.
I understand.
So wrong.
a snapshot of your audience, I suppose.
Right. That's right.
That's fantastic. That's really so. Yeah, I mean, it goes very well with the purpose of our platform. What you mentioned, we really do not agree with the current mainstream panorama in music. We really want to give a voice to bands like yourself. Because your staff is fantastic. Your staff is really, really fantastic. And you're saying you have a record on the market.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
That's why we started. That's why we started working with you guys, because I think that the work you're doing, lyrics, it's something that needed to be done, and I think you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, for all of you, this record, Desert of Believing, by my sister Def Sense, it's available online everywhere. Look for it and get it for these guys. You're not going to regret it. Really, really good stuff. Let's take a listen again. Okay, Rodrigo, still there?
Yeah.
Well, man, it's been a real pleasure. I hope you make it another time, sometime soon. Will you be able to speak with us sometime in the future?
It will be a great honor being with you whenever you need.
Fantastic, man, fantastic. Anything else you want to say to the audience? What else would you like to say?
Listen to rock music. You will learn a lot about life and about many, many things that you will never believe that were out there. Listen to rock music.
Exactly, man, exactly. Okay, until the next time, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye, take care.
Visit Leerecs.com today or download the Leerecs app from the App Store or Google Play for free.
I was getting over. I was driven by the things I said when there's no one here. I'm falling into dark and digging my own grave. All the cheetahs spinning in my head won't open the wall that hold me in the desert. All believing
part of the movement. Visit Leerecs.com today or download the Leerecs app from the App Store
of the
typical
or
libraries
Google Play.
of conventional music that makes you feel meh. Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.